Hello, and this is Bent Yu-Gi-Oh card, and I've got a new deck to show you. It's Watts. Now, Watts have been something that have intrigued me for a while, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys. Just the ability to attack directly seemed like a very awesome ability. So with this deck, the main concept is to straight up just attack directly and protect your monsters. Let's start it off. We've got 3 Wattgiraffe. When they make a direct hit, your opponent can't play spell trap or monster effects until the end phase. You've got Wattcobra. When he makes his direct attack, you get to search your deck for another Watt monster. So essentially, once you get this guy on the board, you've got access to all your other Watt monsters. Pheasant works really well in this deck. He does his 1,000 of direct damage, but then he also can remove a monster from the field for a turn, and typically that can be, it doesn't really matter, but if it's an exceed monster, it doesn't have its materials when it comes back. So it could be a quick get rid of any kind of problem exceeds. Say they got Gustav Max and they were burning you, or if they had anything that can pop monsters, Tyrus Adris, anything like that. You've got 1 Watthopper. You summon this solely just so your monsters can't be targeted, typically by traps, dimensional, prison, or stuff like that that target. Thunder Seahorse is probably the heart of the deck. I've never seen a card just like this before. If you open up with just 1 of these, you can potentially ditch it to grab 2 more, and then after that, ditch it to grab 2 of any of the other play sets of Watt monsters. You grab 2 of each, or 2 of a pair or whatever, and it's pretty amazing. That's pretty much all you use it for in this deck. Rarely do you ever summon it to attack or anything like that. Lava Golem, you're already preventing your opponent from attacking, so why not just give him something that he definitely can't attack with, and then that'll burn him 1,000 each turn, just to win a little bit faster and to get rid of those other problem cards. You got Messenger of Peace, basically to stop your opponent from attacking your Watt monsters. It's a really good, cheap way to stop most of your opponent's attacks. Pot of Duality, you don't special summon often in this deck, so it allows you to get to your cards faster. Swords Revealing Light, seems old school, but it works, and it definitely stops your Watt monsters from getting attacked. Your opponent's going to run out of MSTs in this duel, so having this will just be another thing on the fire. Macrocosmos, this is to slow your opponent down. Typically, most decks out there right now, this is a meta call, really. Most decks out there need a graveyard of some sort. Exceed decks can typically get around Fissure, but Macrocosmos is a different story. So it works well against most decks. Red Screen, this card is one of those overlooked stall cards, mainly because you can't choose to destroy it. You have to keep paying the 1,000, but after you've played one all the way till you can't pay it anymore, the other ones can just straight up be activated and then destroyed during your next end phase. So they work just like Threatening Roar past that. Waboku, protect your monsters. Threatening Roar, protect your monsters. And then the one you don't really want to use except for like later in the game, Thunder of Ruler, just because you know when they'll be attacking. Early game, this isn't as good of a card because you don't know if they'll even make a summon or attack. And then you've got the Huge Revolution is over, mainly to protect against your back row getting destroyed. I picked this over Starlight Road because I don't want Solemn Warning to hit me at all in this deck. This deck doesn't need to worry about all those other cards. It doesn't need a Stardust summon. That really won't help this deck out any. So your main concern is just to keep attacking little by little. You don't really need an extra deck in this deck, but I decided to show a few cards that would be beneficial to run, mainly Utopia. Utopia can also stall and protect your monsters, so he's important in this deck to an extent. Gaga Cowboy can do a little bit of burn damage, which is pretty neat. Black Shipcorn, it's all right. And then you can even summon Shockmaster in this deck. Not like you need to. But yeah, Utopia would be the main card I'd be concerned with. But yeah, all in all, this deck runs very smooth. It's not very hard to play with. It's not actually that expensive since you don't really need an extra deck, besides maybe a Utopia or two. Most of the cards are common. All the spells and traps are, except for Pot of Duality. There's rares. There's common messenger pieces. Lava Golems don't typically cost that much. Pheasant's common. Cobra's common. Your main cost is going to be in these two right here. These are around 8 to 10, and these are around 20 to 25. I hope you guys liked it, and that's Watts. This is Bent Yu-Gi-Oh card. Peace.